Hey guys, Millennium Dude here, the reviewer of old and new. So, I want to do a video on E3, since I saw a lot of stuff over E3. I didn't go to E3, unfortunately. I'm not made of money, unlike some people who get to go upon the thousands of thousands. But, I digress. I'm here to talk about the things I'm most looking forward to, or what they discussed at E3 that I'm excited for anyway, even though they made a release date. Either way, I'm going to discuss it. I have them written down here, because if I forget one, I'm going to get mad, and you're probably going to comment to me about the ones that I didn't talk about. Okay, let's go. Now, one of the first ones that I saw was at the Xbox Microsoft conference. Now, Xbox, the conference really didn't matter to me if it was better or worse, but Xbox didn't have a really good conference. But the one thing I am looking forward to on Xbox, that I don't really look forward to a lot of Xbox titles, but this one I am. Splinter Cell Blacklist. Yes, another game in the Splinter Cell series. And I do like Splinter Cell. It's sort of like Metal Gear Solid, a little bit, but it's still fun because Tom Clancy wrote it, and Tom Clancy's a great writer. Enough said. Next, it's called Beyond for the PS3 at the Sony conference. Now, this is by the same people who made Heavy Rain, and I'm going to do a review of that game in just a bit. It's the company Quantic Dream who made that. And it's asking one question to us. What happens after death? Where do we go? What do we do? We don't know. And it follows the story of this girl named Jodie. I believe the character's name is Jodie. Correct me if I'm wrong, either way. But she's followed by this spirit. She doesn't know who it is or what it is. It just keeps following her. And the girl who plays the main character is award-winning actress Ellen Page, who you may remember as Shadowcat in X-Men 3: The Last Stand. The movie sucked either way, but she was cool. And also Juno. And also she was that chick in Inception, I forget her name. But yes, that game I'm looking very much forward to, because Heavy Rain and this both have very good graphics and amazing storytelling. And I just realized that in Heavy Rain, but that's for another time, another review. But let's see. Sly Cooper: Thieves in Time. Now, I've stated this to many of my friends and many people who know me with my gaming history, that I love Sly Cooper and I love the series. And I know that they're making the fourth one, and I've heard news when I went into GameStop. I asked about games that are coming out, and the clerk told me that Sly Cooper is getting pushed back to 2013. And I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with them pushing it back to give it more time and more polish, because with this kind of game, and another one in the series that we haven't seen for years, we're going to need a little more time to keep the story intact and everything loose. But yeah, looking forward to that one. The Tomb Raider reboot. Now, I saw my friend looking at the trailer for this, and it looked interesting. And I'm going to look at the trailer again, but I like Tomb Raider. I'd never really played the games. I played one of them. I forget. It was for PS3, and I don't really remember the title. But yeah, I want to see what they're doing with this. It looks like they're taking a new edge with this. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Now, everyone's made this comparison. It is like Smash Bros. Somewhat, yes, it is almost exactly like it. But this time, we get our Sony characters, and we get to play as them. Now, the characters that have been confirmed is Sweet Tooth from Heavy Metal, Sly Cooper, I like that, Fat Princess from the PSN Arcade. I never really played the game, but yay, we get some new stuff. Kratos from God of War. Oh, it's going to be good. I don't know who else is going to get shown, but I saw in the demo that they were playing in Ratchet & Clank's world, a place that looks like their world. So Ratchet & Clank may be in the game. But who else do I want to see in the demo? No, in the game itself. I want to see Jak and Daxter, of course. They're a big head hitter that we want to see in the game. Also, I want to see Crash Bandicoot, because Crash was a big one in the PlayStation era, and we want to see him come back and do something else, maybe. Who else? I heard Nathan Drake is going to be in the game. I heard. I'm not completely sure, but I heard he was going to be in it, and I'm fine with that. I love Nathan Drake. One people are getting mixed. Either it may happen or it may not happen. I'm hoping it will. Solid Snake. They keep complaining, well, he's already in Smash Bros. Stop trolling me. So guess what? I want Snake in there. Whoopee. Colonel. Sorry, I had to do the voice. I had to. But yes, I'm looking forward to that game, and I cannot wait for that to come out. My friends and I will play that like junkies. Let's see here. One that they're discussing that already has a release date, but I still want to talk about it, is Assassin's Creed 3 by Ubisoft. Now, I love the Assassin's Creed series. I do. I'm kind of getting jaded by it because they keep going back into the Animus and keep using it as a scapegoat to go back in time and tell the story more. I'm fine with them expanding the story a bit, but they always said it would just be a trilogy, but they keep making more games. And I do like the idea of the Revolutionary War. I like that idea. It's a cool idea. Sort of like what National Treasure did, mixing the treasure stuff in there, but either way. I like that they're mixing with a new character, a Mohican/British fighter, and I love that they're bringing in running assassinations. That's cool. The tomahawk, the pistols, the way we could use muskets, a hidden blade that turns into a knife. We're bringing the bow. We can actually climb on trees this time. Seriously, like 5 or 6 games in, we can finally climb on trees. Either way, it's still fun. Naval battles. Oh, and we get to wear the pirate hat. Oh, I think it's gonna be good. But another thing I don't get, they gotta get 2 things for me if I'm gonna make this series good again. Number 1, I want to play as Desmond Miles in present time. You get Nolan North to play one of your characters since the beginning, and you've barely used him. You barely used him. And I want to see what happens fighting in real world time with modern day weapons. And supposedly it's going to be the end of the world in that game. Haha, 2012, end of the world. Yeah, that's clever. That's a real original story. But either way, and also that chick, the blonde chick, crap, I can't remember her name, but the blonde chick, you know, the one, I can't spoil anything for you, but it's that chick in the beginning. But they need to bring her story all around, if you catch my drift. For people who know what happened in the game, you catch my drift. But I want to see more on that game. Now, I know a lot of people know in the gaming society that comic book and movie title games usually don't have all the luster they do. Comic book games sometimes get it right. Movie games barely ever get it right. Examples: Thor, Green Lantern, Battleship. The video game, not the board game. That's so cool. That's so cool. But this movie title / comic book title that I want to see, and I'm hearing a lot of good things about, is The Amazing Spider-Man, the video game. It's coming out, I think, a week before the movie, and I'll discuss about the movie in another video. You already know. But I do like the ideas they're going with in this game, because it's set a little bit after the event of the movie. They're bringing in characters from the comic book, including Black Cat, yes, and Rhino, Piranha, Scorpion, and I've seen the concept art for this Scorpion, and it looks, just look it up, Google it, it's looking amazing. We also get to use the web rush routine, which means we can go first person into Spider-Man's mask and see the yellow tinted lenses, and we get to decide where we get to web shoot and everything. We get to go back to Manhattan, which is nice, and all the action and fighting, and they've said they've been working on this for 2 years before the movie was ever announced, which means they're working hard on this. Like they did with Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which is a great game, and it's one of the best comic book games I recommend. Not like Edge of Time, which was only given a little bit of thought. I played it too, trust me. I'll explain some other time, yeah. But yes, and also a DLC content that we get. We get to play as Stan Lee, and he voiced his character. That is like sprinkles on top of the ice cream. It is so good. So, thank you, Beanox. Hopefully, it's a good game. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, yes, this one. Ubisoft is creating a new title called Watch Dogs. Now, this, look up the footage from the UK thing. It looks great. This is a cool idea. It's if someone implanted a virus into the world, knocking out half the world's lights, and now he can track anyone, their so-called digital shadow, and use it to incriminate them, or so we can get by through the world. And his name is Aiden Pierce. And the thing is, I don't know if people think this, but I do. This is what Assassin's Creed should have been. Fighting in our own world, using technology to our own advantage. It looks so good. I hope it'll be fantastic. From what the footage shows, it'll be a great game. But I hope it's going to be one of the greatest ever, because it looks good. Ubisoft, keep up the good work. And the last thing I'm going to talk about from E3, E3 game-wise, Sony, at the end of their conference, showed us 10 minutes of gameplay of Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. And they played this marketing pro right. They only showed us a few things, a little bit of news from the characters, but they showed us the whole gameplay, and this game looks fantastic. It's like a mix of Resident Evil and Uncharted. It's going to be so delicious and so awesome at the same time. But yeah, and I'm looking so much forward to that game whenever it comes out. I just want to see this so bad. But yeah, another last thing, guys. Who do I think had the best conference, the best layout of the conference? Sony. I'm sorry, but I'm a Sony fanboy. I've had it ever since I had a PS2 when I was a kid, and I like their conference the best. They mixed everything properly. They marketed right. The problem with the other conferences was that Xbox and Nintendo, it sounded a little too scripted. It didn't sound like it was normal way of talking. And also, the head of Nintendo was acting a little bit weird with Zombie U. Zombie U looks like a good idea for a game, but act mature, dude. I know you're talking to people about games, but seriously. But yeah, overall, I consider Sony to be the best conference, Nintendo to have the second best, and Microsoft at the third. Alright guys, that's all I have to say on E3. I hope you like this review. I hope you rate, comment, and subscribe. I hope you keep spreading the word of my channel to everyone. And also, send me comments of video games and movies that you want me to review in the comments below. Or even message me if you have a YouTube account. So guys, this is the Millennium Dude, signing off. Peace.